Genesis 6 tells a sad story. It's a story about a world gone wrong. A world that was once good, now filled with darkness. God created the world perfect. A beautiful place full of life and wonder. He loved his creation. But people turned away from God's goodness. They chose to disobey. They forgot his love. This chapter shows us how bad things became before the great flood. It shows how light can turn into darkness, how good can be overcome by evil. It reminds us that our choices matter. Every choice has consequences. Our choices affect not only us, but also the world around us. They ripple outwards, touching everything. Genesis 6 tells of the sons of God marrying the daughters of men. This is a mysterious part of the story. It's difficult to understand exactly what happened. Many interpretations exist. Some believe the sons of God were angels, heavenly beings descending to earth. Others believe they were righteous men marrying wicked women, a mixing of good and evil. Still others have different explanations. Whatever the truth, these marriages contributed to the growing darkness. They made the world even worse. Their children were called Nephilim. Some believe the Nephilim were giants, powerful and frightening figures, strong and intimidating. They added to the wickedness spreading across the earth. The world became filled with violence, filled with pain and suffering. People hurt each other. They disobeyed God. They ignored his commands. They turned away from his path. They chose darkness over light. God saw the wickedness. He saw the pain and suffering. Genesis 6 tells us how much this saddened God. It grieved his heart deeply. He saw that people's hearts were filled with evil thoughts. Day and night, they thought only of doing wrong. They did not think of God. They did not think of what was right. They ignored the consequences of their actions. They lived only for themselves. God was heartbroken by their choices. He was so saddened that he decided to send a great flood, a flood to cleanse the earth, a flood to wash away the wickedness and start anew, a fresh start for creation. But even in his sadness, God showed mercy. He gave people 120 years to change, 120 years to turn back to him. He gave them time. He gave them a chance, an opportunity to repent, an opportunity to return to his love. But they didn't listen. They continued in their wickedness. They refused to change. They rejected God's mercy. This shows us how serious sin is. It shows us how much our choices matter to God. God cares about what we do. He cares about our hearts. Despite the coming flood, God showed kindness. He showed his love. He chose a good man named Noah, a righteous man in a wicked world, a beacon of hope in the darkness. God told Noah to build an ark, a large boat to protect him and his family from the flood. God gave Noah specific instructions. He told him exactly how to build the ark, what kind of wood to use, how big to make it, detailed plans to ensure its safety. God told Noah to bring his family onto the ark, his wife, his sons, and their wives. He also told Noah to bring 2 of every kind of animal, male and female, to preserve life on earth. God would save them from the flood. He would protect them from the destruction. He would keep them safe within the ark. This shows God's mercy. Even when he punishes sin, he offers a way to be saved, a path to redemption, a way out. Like other stories where a few good people are rescued, God provides for those who follow him. He protects those who trust him. He offers refuge and safety to those who seek him. Genesis 6 teaches important lessons about sin and its consequences. It shows how quickly sin spreads, like a sickness infecting everyone around us. It spreads from person to person like a contagious disease. The story also teaches us about God's sadness when people sin. God doesn't want us to be bad. He wants us to choose good. He wants us to do what is right. He wants us to follow him and love him. He desires a relationship with us. This chapter teaches us about God's incredible mercy. Even though he punished sin with the flood, he saved Noah and his family. He preserved life on earth. God always gives people a chance to change. He is patient and kind. He wants to forgive us. He wants to give us a second chance. He wants us to be with Him forever. Genesis 6 is a story of a world gone wrong, a world turned away from God. It's a story about the consequences of sin, but it's also a story of God's mercy, His desire to save. Noah's obedience is an example for us all. He followed God even when it was difficult, even when it didn't make sense. Noah's faith is a powerful example. The flood reminds us that our choices have consequences. Our actions matter. They matter to God. They matter to us. They shape our lives and the lives of those around us. God saw the violence filling the earth, the cruelty and the hatred, the wickedness in people's hearts. He was grieved by what he saw. It broke his heart to see his creation turn away from him. He decided to flood the earth, to cleanse it from its wickedness, to wash away the sin and start anew. But he also provided a way for Noah and his family to survive. He offered them escape from the judgment. He gave Noah specific instructions for building the ark. He guided him every step of the way. Noah obeyed God. He listened to God's instructions and built the ark exactly as God commanded. He followed God's plan faithfully. He brought his family and 2 of every kind of animal onto the ark. He trusted God. He trusted God even when it didn't make sense, even when it was hard. He had faith in God's promise. This shows us the importance of obedience and trust. These are key to following God, essential to our relationship with Him. Genesis 6 is a sad story of sin and judgment, but it also offers hope. Even in judgment, God provided a way to be saved, a path to redemption. Noah and his family represent a new beginning, a fresh start. This connects to the promise God later made to Abraham, a promise of blessing and a new beginning, a promise of hope for the future, a promise of a Redeemer. Genesis 6 reminds us that God is both just and merciful. He punishes sin and holds us accountable. But He also offers forgiveness. He offers a new start, a second chance. He offers His love and grace. This chapter shows the importance of listening to God and obeying Him. These are vital parts of our relationship with Him, essential to walking in His ways. The story continues in Genesis 7, where the flood comes upon the earth. The story continues with God's judgment and His mercy. The story continues with God's plan for His creation. Before time was measured, a story began. Sacred Narratives brings that story to life. And what you hear today is only a fragment. Unlock the full experience on Spotify, audiobooks.com, Everand, Rakuten Kobo, B, and N Audiobooks. Tune in, Baker and Taylor, Bibliotheca, Overdrive, and the Sacred Narrative app. The full journey is waiting. Please like and subscribe.